everyone, welcome to Gurukul Online Learning Network. I'm Solika Aktar with your Gurukul English classes. Now we will be continuing our lessons for English for today of class 9 and 10. We were in Unit 2. Our today's lesson is Lesson 4, Change in Pastimes in Bangladesh. As we had been learning about the pastimes around the world, or especially more or less of Britain, England, now we will be talking about the pastimes around Bangladesh in this chapter, and we will also look up into its changes. Before going to the lesson, we really need to understand what we will learn after this lesson. First of all, we will learn how to make a graph. This whole lesson is based on a graph, and we will be talking about it. So we will understand the concept of graph, and also we can learn that how we ourselves can make a graph. Or you can also talk about tables, right? So we will learn to make graphs or tables. Again, we will learn about information from a graph, how we can put information in a graph, or how we can describe a graph, how we can just learn about something from a graph. So this lesson will help us to learn about the changes about the pastimes in Bangladesh through a graph. So let's start on. See, this is the table, and it's a table which is done by Anusha and Tia. I guess you remember them because we have been learning about them from the very first lesson of Unit 2. They had that conversation about pastimes from where we started our lessons. Remember? So they have just conducted a survey, and this is the graph of their survey, or this is a table of their survey which is showing the information they have gathered. You can see a section is for class 9-10, another section is for class 5-6. There are some common activities which are named, like playing games and sports, or games on computers, and watching television, chatting with friends, reading books or magazines, gardening, attending social programs, playing games, and also some other things. There are the percentages which we can see, and probably these are for the students who are attending or who are involved in these pastimes activities. So let's see if the description talks like so. So this is Tia, who is describing this graph. Hello everyone, my name is Tia. My friend Anusha and I are going to do a presentation on pastime habits of class 9 and 10 students in our school. There are 120 students, 60 in class 9 and 60 in class 10. The classes have gender equity. Each class has 30 male and 30 female students. The survey shows that 22.3% of students in class 9-10 like games and sports as their most favorite pastime, which is the fourth option given by classes 5-6 students. So see how they are comparing the data they have collected and how they are presenting it, right? So they have done the survey with the students of class 9 and 10. Also they have data from the students of classes 5 to 6. And they're frequently comparing the information. Just like in there, the first thing they have compared is about the people or the percentage who are involved in games and sports and who prefer games and sports as their most favorite pastime. So the class 9-10 students are more interested in games and sports, where class 5-6 students are having this option as in fourth. Let's move on. Watching television is the second choice, 17.2%, by the first group, in contrast to 31.2% of the second group. That means the students from class 5 and 6 are more interested in watching television and they have prioritized it as the first one. But the students from class 9 and 10 have it as a second choice. It is noteworthy that watching television is the first choice of the second group. So class 5-6 students are more interested in watching television. A considerable number, 13.7% of 9-10 students like to chat with their friends, and thus it becomes the third popular choice in the chart, while this becomes one of the less important choices by the younger kids. Only 6.7% of the kids take it as their first priority. So look at the choices made by the students of class 9 and 10, also the students by class 5 and 6. The students from or the children from class 9 and 10 are more into socializing. They very much like to chat with their friends, but the younger kids are not much interested in that. Only 6.7% of them has the preference to chat with their friends or socialize. It's interesting that both the groups like reading books. 12.9% of the students of classes 9 to 10 take it as their favorite pastime. The number is 11.7% for classes 5-6 students. So see, there is a less more difference in the statistics, right? Most of the students from class 5 and 6, also from class 9 and 10, are very much interested in reading books for their pastime activity. Besides, gardening is voted 10.7% of students to be the fifth preference by the grown-up group, though it is not that much liked by the younger group. So gardening is another choice that is preferred by the students of class 9 and 10. But the younger group is not much interested in that. Only 6.1% of the young kids are involved in it. This is interesting that though the higher number of students in classes 9 to 10 prefer attending social programs, 9.1%, than students of classes 5 to 6, 7.8%. Yet as a choice, it is preferred by the later group. So, attending social programs is also very much liked or preferred by both of the groups. Yet it is a bit more preferable from the later group. It is the fifth choice for them, while the older group, it is the sixth one. Young kids have greater fascination for playing games on the computers. 20.9% like it as their first choice. So there is a huge group of people who are really interested in computer games, and that percentage is bigger in the younger group. That means the students from 5 to 6, they are more into the computer games. The chart shows that as the kids grow up, they lose their passion for computer games. According to the chart, the ratio declines to 8.2% from the 20.9% when the kids are students of classes 9 to 10. Finally, it can be said that the influence of television has impact on both the groups, but the more students grow up, the more they opt for fields or gym. So that means the students who are growing up, they change their pastime with their growing up phases. The time changes for them, the preferences also get changed. But watching television is something very much appreciated in both of the groups. So maybe it doesn't change much with the passage of time as well. Now let's discuss the questions that we have in the textbook to understand the graph a bit more. Like the first question we have is, what are the gender policy of the surveyors? So you remember, this is a report from Anusha and Tia. They have conducted a survey. So they are the surveyors. They have mentioned in their presentation that what was their gender policy. The survey was conducted on 120 students, 60 from class 9 and 60 from class 10. Also, they have mentioned that each class has 30 male students and 30 female students. So they had been very equal. They followed the gender equity policy in their survey. The next question is, what are the survey findings regarding watching television? Watching television was preferred by both of the classes, right? From 5 to 6 as well, also 9 to 10. A large number of people, or a large percentage, like 31.2% from class 5 to 6 are preferring watching television, and it was the first one to be chosen, or first one to be preferred as their pastime activities. 17.2% from the class 9 to 10 group was interested in watching television as their pastime activities. The third question is, which age group is more interested in socializing with others? You remember that one, right? About chatting with friends and attending social programs. So in that case, the class 9-10 age group, or the a little bit grown up age group, is more interested. They had the percentage of 13.7%, and only 6.7% of the age group of younger kids, or from class 5 to 6, is interested in socializing or chatting with friends as their pastime activities. The last question we have is, according to the chart, how do the kids change their pastimes when they are grown up? What changes does the chart for 9-10 reflect? So if we look up to the presentation of Tia again, we can see that how the changes of pastime preferences being shown up from class 5 to 6 to class 9 to 10, right? So watching television, having or playing computer games, attending social programs, these are all, reading books as well, are more preferred in the younger group. The grown-up kids are more into socializing with their friends, chatting with their friends. They also do prefer watching television as well, and obviously social programs attended, and obviously attending social programs. So this is how we can see the changes among the different age group about their pastimes. Also, at the very end of the article, we have seen that the chart shows as the kids grow up, they lose their passion for computer games. They really don't enjoy much those device activities. And also, according to the chart ratio, it declines at a very high rate. Finally, the thing that has been pointed is that watching television is very popular among both of the age group. But the more they get aged, they are much more to go for fields or gym. They really want to do some physical activities for their pastime. This is how the chart shows or reflects the changes in pastimes, or the preferences in pastimes, in two different age groups. So your homework will be to conduct a survey like Tia and Anusha about your friends' pastimes. What your friends like to do in their leisure time, right? Conduct the survey, make a chart like them. Just have the percentages and also the activities. How many of your friends like to do this particular activity? How many of them don't like to do that? Just make the calculations, have the percentage with yourself, and make a chart, and you can also explain it. Share that explanation or share that presentation with us in the comment section of the video. The other video links will be in the description. So stay tuned with us for further ones. Thank you.